I hope you guys are ready for some fun. I hope you're ready to get silly because I've got something really silly today. This is the inaugural episode of a new series I'm calling Are You Okay? I want to be really clear up front that the goal of this series is not to make fun of anybody. It's not to make grand sweeping moral statements or judgments about other people. I have been reading stuff online that is so bafflingly silly, and it's given me a lot of joy to embrace the foolishness. And so I want to bring that to you guys as well, because I think it's very common right now for creators, especially internet online creators, to make a lot of think pieces about the literacy crisis and about morality and about good and evil and all of these kind of grand themes, right? Like, we've all seen our YouTube pages be completely flooded with video essays about people decrying the state of public intelligence. And while I do agree that we probably are in a literary crisis, I can't do anything about that. And yet I am subjected to seeing the effects of literary crisis every single day. Every time I open my phone, I'm seeing foolishness of a degree they would have put in SNL skits 20 years ago. So I've chosen not to be rage baited because I think some of this is genuinely just rage bait. They're just farming for engagement. Some of it is earnest, unfortunately. But instead of engaging in intellectual takedowns and dogpiling and all of this other kind of stuff online, I just choose to laugh at it. And I've been collecting screenshots of stuff that's genuinely just made me laugh. And I want to share those with you. I think the internet, especially platforms like Twitter and Threads, is the way for the village idiot to break confinement, right? Like, every village has an idiot. Every village has an idiot. Twitter now lets me hear the idiot of a village across the world. And I think that's beautiful. So today, I'm just going to show you some screenshots that I've seen online. A lot of these are bookish related because that's what we do on this channel. And we're just going to have a laugh, okay? We're just going to let go of the anger, put it aside. You need it for better things than people on the internet. And we're just going to laugh at how silly people are. Because I don't believe in dogpiling and cancel culture and all this other kind of stuff that goes on the internet, I've removed everybody's names from these threads that I'm going to share with you. I shouldn't have to say this, but don't go find them, don't look them up, don't say mean things to them. This is purely an exercise in entertainment. I want you to pretend that all of this was written by a stand-up comedian to make you laugh, okay? In your head, I want you to read this in Caleb Heron's voice, okay? And we're just gonna laugh because that's all we can do right now. And sometimes that's good enough, and sometimes that's revolutionary. So just take a moment, put your sword and shield down, laugh at the jester and the jingle bells. Here's the first one. So this, I think this is probably the very first screenshot I ever grabbed for this series. And I have been thinking about it for months. Every time, I'm not even going to get through this intro. Every time I think about it, I laugh. Just, I think such a beautiful internet moment captured in time. And I'm going to try not to giggle through this whole entire video, but it's going to be really hard because I saved this stuff for a reason because it makes me giggle. OP says, I have a question for fantasy readers. Would you be okay with a fantasy book that doesn't have any dragons, elves, castles, or supernatural elements in a contemporary setting where the main character just goes about their daily life? Hang on. I think about this daily. I genuinely think, I have tears in my eyes. I think about this daily. Our beautiful commenter says, what would make it a fantasy book then? And OP replies, put this in the Louvre. You know what? That's a really good question. Every time I hear something stupid, I say to myself, that's a really good question. Oh my God. And to be clear, I'm not making fun of this person. I think this was a genuine inquiry. And I love that the first commenter replied with grace and curiosity instead of meanness. But I said I wasn't gonna moralize, but I think that this whole entire thread is a really good example of how boxed in people online have become. The labels are the language of the day, and people want to fit very clearly between boxes. And when you get questions like this, you see that nuance is dead, right? Like, this person is not writing a fantasy book. Why are they using the tag fantasy books? Why are they trying to fit inside of that box, right? Like, that's not what you're doing. And not to say that there aren't cozy fantasy, but there are no supernatural elements. What are you? You're not writing a fantasy. That's like what fantasy is, you know? It's just really funny. It's kind of like, if I wanted to make a pepperoni pizza but didn't want to put any pepperonis on it. Would you be okay with that? A cheese pizza? Yeah, but that's not a you don't have to call it a pepperoni pizza without pepperonis on it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Shout out to the first commenter for responding with grace and love and curiosity. And shout out to OP for taking that and really thinking about what they were asking. I wish more interactions online went like this, honestly, if I'm going to be completely frank with you. Next up, okay, I'm sure if you are online in the bookish sphere at all, you've already seen this tweet, this thread. I'm calling them tweets. You know what I'm talking about. This is on Threads. I'm calling them tweets because I don't like saying the word threads that much. This tweet, I'm sure everybody has seen it. I'm sure you already watched your favorite bookish content creator talk about it, and maybe some people who are not bookish content creators talk about it because it really blew up on Book Spaces. If you haven't seen this, I yearn to be as offline as you. Okay, so here it is. OP says, "Dear authors, please use easy words in your book/fics. Thank you. Yours truly, Reader." And underneath that, there's a screenshot of their Google search, scrying means, and then the AI overview of the definition of scrying. Like I said, this one went rounds on Threads. Like, people were talking about it, I feel like, for weeks. I'm not here to mock this person who, for all I know, could be 13 years old and has genuinely never seen this word in their life. Maybe they don't read fantasy. Maybe they don't read magical books. Maybe they're 10. We don't know. So responding with grace and love. The thing that entertains me about this tweet is not the actual content. I don't love the idea of asking people to use easier words, but mostly I think that's on me because I would never, the hit to my ego to tell someone I didn't know what a word meant, that's not happening, right? Like, I was a gifted child. I'm not telling you I don't know what a word means. My thing is the confidence to post about this and think that people were going to be on your side when you found the answer, right, Tifa? Like, you solved this problem. You Googled the word you didn't know and you learned something. So that should have been the end of it. That's actually how a lot of things in this world work. You don't know what it is, you find out what it is, and you move on with that information. Instead, this person got mad, they didn't know what it meant, and then used that feeling of perhaps insecurity or perhaps that feeling of inferiority, instead told all authors to use easier words. Did not have to post about this on the internet and get bullied off Threads by people who have a lot less grace and humor than me. So listen, we can go into it about, the decline of common sense, of the decline of basic literacy and intelligence. But to me, this is not so much, I mean, obviously it's a literacy problem, but to me, I think something that people have not been talking about is the problem of making something you're insecure about somebody else's fault or somebody else's problem, right? Like, she solved the insecurity by learning what the word meant and keeping it to herself. And then she decided to post about it. And I got the screenshot 7 hours after this was posted. It already had 1.7K replies. And as you can imagine, none of them were very nice. And probably just went further to fuel her insecurity, or I shouldn't say her, their insecurity about their intelligence or their frustration with this word. Overall, worst thing they could have done in this situation. You know, we could have just Googled it and moved on with our lives, but instead, there is this desire to share every thought we have publicly and to search for validation from strangers on the internet whenever we feel insecure or feel uncomfortable. And to me, that is the bigger that I mean, it is a part of literacy. Of that's obviously a literacy problem as well. Listen, some people were really mean. Some people were really mean to this person. So I hope I I hope they've learned a lesson here. This one, again, it's not necessarily like chuckle funny, but again, kind of an issue of I think I'm the only person in the world and everyone must agree with me. And people just like their inside thoughts get outside. That's a problem to me. We've completely lost our understanding of privacy, not just amongst each other, but you actually don't have to tell everyone all of your thoughts all of the time. Next one, is it a trend these days that many modern books are written in first person view and in present simple tense? I grew up with third person past tense narrative style in novels. This is new to me and a little confusing. Which narrative style do you prefer when reading books? So, benefit of the doubt, they were obviously trying to start a debate, but that whole like first paragraph is making a very clear stance. I blurred out everybody else's name, but Roxanne Gay responded to this and said, "What's new? First person isn't new." Yeah, they've actually been doing that a really long time, I fear. Yeah, I fear they've been doing that a really long time. The Hunger Games was written like this, and that book is like 20 years old almost at this point. So that's not new. There are plenty of old books written in first person. I think probably the present tense is maybe slightly newer because it fits much more with a very active story, a much more plot focused and action driven story rather than, the books of the Victorians who would be writing very introspective sort of novels where there's a lot of thinking and talking going on and not necessarily running to the cornucopia and killing other children kind of stuff. But that's not new, okay? And I don't know the confidence to say, "Oh, why is it that all modern books are written in first person?" is like really funny to me. Plenty of books are actually written in third person. What are you talking about? Are you okay? I'm really worried about people. I genuinely am. And I've never been so worried about them as I was when I saw this thread. So this was posted on the House of the Dragon topic thing on Threads. So the original thread says, "Cersei was my favorite character in Game of Thrones. I will not be taking questions at this time. And people roasted me so hard because of the incest, blah, 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 blah." And then there's a gif of Cersei that says screams internally. And then someone responded to this and said, "This is only proving how much Game of Thrones laid the pavement for the normalization of incest so that now it's not a deal breaker and that's bad." Hey, what? This kid's this is so stupid. This is an insane blanket statement to make. First of all, I think there is a really, really big problem, especially in the bookish community, and I'm saying that because I read books and that's the community I'm most involved in. There's a really big problem in the bookish community, might be in other communities as well, where people want books to be morally perfect. On that, I have to say two things. One, that's not real, can't happen. Two, if it could, it would be really fucking boring. It would be really fucking boring because What this original person is saying is that they liked Cersei's character. I can't see, like, this is just a screenshot, so I can't actually go back to that original thread and find out like what their thing was, but I can speak from my own personal experience because I loved Cersei as a character. She was so interesting. I think the incest thing really became like a really small part of her character as the story progressed, namely because Jaime and Cersei get split up very early on and then stay apart for the majority of the series. And so, like, honestly, it was a thing I kind of like mostly forgot about, but her character was so complex and so intriguing. And it wasn't because she was a good person. It was because of the way that the writers were able to show you her thought processes and show you her ambitions and show you the things that she cared about. So that even though there was this big thing that maybe morally I disagreed on, I still found her compelling. She is a fascinating character. Lena Headey played her fucking ass off in this role. She was very ambitious. She was a lot of the reason the plot was moving at all a lot of the times. And that is what I look for in a character. I don't care if they're doing the right thing or they're making the right choice. I want them to make the most interesting choice. And I want their choices to make sense based on what I know about them and how I understand that they view the world. That's why she's an interesting character, not because she fucks her brother. If you are looking for morality in your fiction, you're not going to find it. I just don't understand. Like, I just fundamentally do not understand that. I don't understand this desire for people to find morality in shit that people make up, because human beings are not 100% completely pure and moral, and they don't create things that are 100% pure and moral. And if they did, it would be extremely boring. It would be extremely boring. I don't need Game of Thrones to tell me that incest is bad. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Do we understand that we don't need a book about dragons and murder to tell us that incest is bad? Is the incest thing something that I enjoy watching? Absolutely the fuck not. Does it make my feelings about Cersei more complex? Yeah. Because she does do something that I fundamentally disagree with, but I still find myself rooting for her in certain scenarios. And I think Cersei is a really good example of a really well-developed character, because there were sometimes I was on her side and sometimes I was not. And I like that tension. I like that mental engagement in fiction that I'm reading or watching, right? Like, that's the point. That's the fun of it, is it's like the mental exercise of it. I don't need anyone, especially not George R.R. Martin, to tell me incest is bad. But even if you were to take this idea, right, that this show is normalizing incest, okay, all three of her children are born from incest. All three of them get killed because of that incest. The whole entire plot of the series gets kicked off because someone sees this incest that's not supposed to see the incest. All of the bad stuff that happens because of that thing and that choice that is made in that moment. At the end of the series, spoilers, they both die horribly. So I'm not really sure where you think this was normalized. Like, I'm not really sure in what scene you thought this was portrayed as a loving and healthy relationship that was going to have good outcomes for anyone involved. That's what I'm also confused about. Aside from the whole conversation about needing your fantasy to morally lecture you, Puritans, by the way, you guys are Puritans, you need to relax. Aside from that, I want you to show me where the incest worked out for any single person in Game of Thrones. Like, any single person. Quickly, name one that had a happy ending with their incest partner. None of them. They all died horrible deaths or went crazy. Like, I don't really understand what show you're watching that thinks this was, that was portraying this as normal. Like, it was not. So fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. And you just have to laugh, right? You just have to laugh because the Puritans, they're building their pyres, baby. They are building those pyres, okay? And I'm worried about them. They're not having fun. I feel sorry for them. Last one, and we'll wrap this up. We're ending on another one that really made me laugh. This one is just an example of somebody wanting to hurt their own feelings so bad. Like the victim complex is strong in this one. It's really funny. So original poster says, "Just my thought for the day. If you buy a book from an indie author and decide not to read it, at least put them out of their misery and tell them. We as readers should never be too busy to at least put a star review." Oh, hang on. Okay, they made a typo. "We as readers should never be too busy to at least put a star review out or send a quick, 'Hey, it doesn't work for me.'" Can you imagine? Can you imagine a world where every person who bought a book and didn't read it sent an email to the author to tell them they didn't want to read it? That is crazy sauce. What the hell are you talking about? What's the end goal here? Like, do you know how many books are bought every single year that are not read? Why would you want someone to send you a message and say, "Hey, I didn't want to read your book"? That's baffling. That is baffling. Why would you invite that sort of invalidation upon yourself? I just can't. I don't understand like what she thought she was saying here. Obviously, I was not the only one because I caught this one at 49 minutes and there was already 12 replies. And you see the first person says, "I'm confused. Are you suggesting that someone who buys a book owes something to the author besides the monetary cost of the book, specifically a review?" Yeah, Diva, you already have my money. Why do you need me to send you why do you need my commentary? Even if I don't like it. That's crazy to say, even if you don't like it. That's crazy. And then the other person says, "I do not think most authors want readers telling them when they decide not to read their book." Why would we need to know that? Why would we want to say that? They've brought the book. It's no one's business if they read it now, in a year, or ever. That's crazy. And it's especially a crazy take to me when there are constantly fights online about people tagging authors in negative reviews and authors going crazy on Goodreads reviews and being mean to readers because they don't like their book. And like, there's just like constantly this drama online about readers' spaces versus author spaces and how authors should not be engaging with reader reviews and definitely shouldn't be bullying reviewers. And then to come out and say, "No, I think you should send me an email and tell me exactly why you're not going to read my book," is crazy. I've already bought it, Diva. You have my money. What else do you like? You don't need anything else from me, especially not something mean. Like, why would you invite that meanness upon yourself? I'm blown away. I'm just blown away. I think that's the craziest thing I've probably ever heard anyone say online, and we've just done like 20 minutes of people saying insane things. So again, this is an invitation to you to engage with humor onto the dumb things that you see online, whether those are things that are deliberately created to upset you or people who are never going to accept and respond to your thoughtful feedback. Just don't waste your time talking to the village idiots on the internet. Laugh at the village idiots. That's what they're there for. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have. And if you want to see more, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.